Okay, recording for those who cannot make it. Right, so today what we're going to do a calculation of cost of electricity, the electrical safety, and how to stop yourself from getting electrocuted. Okay, so electricity is used most common in what? Of course, heating, lighting, and motors that you know. Okay, this is page 53. By the way, look at page 53. So you flip back. These are under notes, right? Okay, so first thing we'll talk about how do we calculate the cost of electricity. It's not very difficult. Okay, when it comes to your homes, you see electricity bill. You never see there. Okay, today this month you have used 50,000 joules. They don't ever write it down. Okay, in fact they simply use a term called units, and they say, oh, this month you have used 50,000 units of energy. Okay, but what does unit mean? It means kilowatt hour. Kilowatt hour. Okay, so units mean kilowatt hour. So they can say or they charge electricity according to kilowatt hour. So currently the kilowatt hour, I can't remember what is it. I think it's quite high. It's 27 or 28. Okay, it keep going higher and higher thanks to inflation. What else? Thanks to what? SS. Why the price of fuel go up? Conflict in other countries, correct. And especially you want to buy cheaper fuel can you buy from where? Oh, Russia all-time big discount, right? Because a lot of countries are not buying from them, but China and India are buying a lot from them. Okay, so that caused the surge in fuel, and then the electricity costs go up. So the kilowatt hour, you measure the amount of electricity you use in terms of this thing called kilowatt hour. So this is a very strange looking unit, right? So where did this unit come from? Actually, it's to do with the energy formula you all know. Okay, you think back of energy formula, E equals to what? VIT, right? Then E equals to VIT. Think back to last year, energy power equals to energy over time, right? So energy is equals to power times time, right? Okay, so it came from here. So you're wondering, how many joules are there in 1 kilowatt hour? Okay, so what's the relationship between kilowatt hour and joules? Okay, so you use this formula equals PT. Then after that, you substitute in P. P put in how much? Look, 1 kilowatt hour. In other words, 1,000, right? 1 kilowatt means 1,000. Then the time. Okay, now this one, kilowatt hour. Then this one, you want joules, must change to seconds. 3,600. So this is a very big number. So this comes out to be like what? I think, if I'm not wrong, it's 3.6 megajoules. So when you talk about, I used 1 kilowatt hour of energy, you have already used up 3.6 megajoules of energy. Okay. So I guess that's why they also use the term kilowatt hour. So in order to avoid writing so many zeros and so on, right? So they use the term kilowatt hour. So if you say you have used 200 units, that means you have used 200 kilowatt hours. So these are interchangeable. Alright? Okay. Okay, so let's look at one example. So a ceiling lamp is rated 240 volts, 0.5 amperes. Okay, power rating 120 watts, used for 45 minutes in one day. Okay, quite unusual. Okay, usually used for more than 45 minutes in a day, but never mind. Okay, so the calculation part, that calculating cost is actually not a problem now. All this you will find it quite easy. It is only when they ask you questions like this. Explain what is meant to be rated 240 volts, 0.5 amperes, and have a power rating of 120 watts. So ask you a question like that, you think, what to write? Okay, So what to write is, I show you lah. Okay, you can use the definition. Okay, and this is how you answer. So it means for the ceiling typo, ceiling mat. Have you ever seen a ceiling mat before? It's not a ceiling mat. It's a ceiling what? Lamp lah. My lamp become mat. Okay, a ceiling lamp to operate optimally and efficiently. Okay, here are your keywords. So you want it to work properly, efficiently, you need to give it a voltage of 240 volts, current of 0.5 amperes. I mean, if you were to give it less current, it can work, but it's not going to be so bright. It's not optimum, it's not efficient. Okay, so you need to supply this. And when you supply this amount of voltage and current, what happens? It will produce 120 watts. Remember, watts, power. Definition of power is what? Power is energy per unit time. So it will produce how many joules every second? 120 joules for every second. So it will produce 120 joules of energy. I should add in the word energy every second. Okay, so when you are explaining this, you use the definition of power. Then you say that for this to be optimally used, you have this supply 240 0.5 amperes. Okay. Okay. Let's pause. Okay, so to find energy in joules, E equals PT. Not too difficult formula to remember. You VIT also can. 120 times time. Okay, time always change a second. So it's 45 times 60. So 324,000 joules. Very easy. Okay. Now kilowatt hour. Okay, I should tell you energy. Kilowatt hour is not a unit for power. You don't see down there watt. Then you think, oh, okay, this is power. It is actually a unit for energy. So energy in kilowatt hour. By the way, this one also correct this. Change this to capital letter W. Okay, my mistake. You write small w, not right. So it's capital W. It's watt. So energy in kilowatt hour. How do you convert this into kilowatt hour? Okay. First step. Calcium correct. Divide by 1,000. You take 120, you divide by 1,000, then this one become kilowatt. Okay? Become kilowatt. Right? So divide by 1,000. So make it kilowatt. Then hours. Very easy. You use for 45 minutes. So Jeremiah, 45 minutes is? Times? You want it in hours. 45 over? 45 over 60, then you put there hours. Okay, so this is the way you convert. Very simple. Divide by 1,000, then make whatever time, change to hours. And what do you get? 0.09 kilowatt hour. Yes. Okay, so that's the way to convert the kilowatt hour. This is the only time our time is in hours. Every time I always tell you second. This is the only time you have something in hours. Okay, so take note about that. Right, so this guy uses the lamp for 45 minutes only. So it's 0.09 kilowatt hour. So now you're told this. If 1 unit costs 20 cents. Okay, 1 unit means what? 1 unit means 1 kilowatt hour. Cost 20 cents. Calculate the cost of using a lamp for 45 minutes. So if you only turn on for 45 minutes, how's the cost like? So if the cost simply is take what times what? I think you all sure no problem. Take 20 cents times 0.09. So it's a very small number. 0.09, and then this comes out to be 0.018, 1.8 cents. $0.018. Okay, so that's how to calculate the cost of electricity. Not very difficult, right? Okay. Okay. So question 3. Look at question 3. Okay. So Electric kettle, 4.2 amperes, 220 volt AC supply. Uses electric energy at a rate of 0.924 kilowatt. Okay, they're going to ask you calculate. That is not a problem. The problem is maybe 3A. Explaining is harder. Okay, explain what is the purpose of using thick wires for appliances which require high power. So you cannot just okay, the same kind of wire I use for my charging my phone, I go and use that same wire to go and connect and charge my, let's say or use in my kettle, my high power kettle. You can't do that. Why not? You will have problems. So why must the wire for this high power appliance be thick? Why?
So it doesn't catch fire.
Bottom line, you want to prevent a fire. How do fires come along?
Overheating wires.
Overheating. Overheating comes because of large what? VIR. Which one? Current very large. Current very large. Overheat very fast. So current very large. Okay, then what does that have to do with wires thickness? So when the wire is thick, that means what?
More resistance.
More.
Area.
More or less. Think. Hey, we just did this question. A is what?
Yes. A is more. A is more. Goes down.
Thick wires.
That's resistance.
That means A is, how is it related? Inversely proportional, right? So thick wires and A being inversely proportional resistance, I'm writing in point form. That means the resistance of wire will be high or low? Low. Okay, is lower. So if the resistance of wire is lower, so when a large current flows through, a wire with low resistance, then what happens? If the resistance very high, the current very high, what happens? You will overheat very fast and then fire come out. Okay, so if it was going through a wire with low resistance, less likely to overheat and catch fire. Okay, so that's why you use a thick wire. Okay, so a thick wire with its lower resistance will not overheat. Okay, anything which has high resistance and you send current through can overheat very, very fast. Okay. One misconception is this: people think you change the wire means you change the amount of current flowing in the circuit. Okay, the amount of current coming through is determined by the source. The kettle is going to draw that amount of current regardless of the amount, the wire resistance. Okay. Right, so explaining this maybe not so easy, but you will slowly get the hang of it. B, much easier. Okay, now you all do B and 4. Okay, so should be able to calculate cost, right? 1.85. I don't need to show working. $1.85, right? Okay, so it should be straightforward enough. Okay, just be careful there will be one or two fellas in the exam the 30 days, you know what they do? The 30 days, they go and convert 30 days to seconds, and then they get a few $1 million electricity bill. Okay, right? And they don't realize it's wrong because they always think everything must be in seconds, so days also convert to seconds. Okay, so the kettle costs a few $1 million to boil water. Okay, which of course is not correct Okay, then next calculate the power. Answer, Jeremiah, what's your answer? 2200 watts, right? Yeah, 10 times 220, P got IV lah. And then the energy in joules. In joules, what do you get, Peng Hong?
1210.
121.
0. Wait, what time is seconds? Capital is hours.
That is joules.
43 million.
Yeah,
Eh,
it
43
Should
should
be a very, very big number.
43.56 million.
4 point what? 4
356.
4356.
4356.
Times
Very big.
10 power
Uh,
4.
and 4.
That power of
4.
4.
It's 43 million.
Oh, I thought you put the same.
Okay lah, 4.4 megajoules lah. You know what formula you're using? Okay 4.4 megajoules. Then kilowatt hour, Magnus, what's your answer?
12.1
12.1
kilowatt.
kilowatt hour. Everybody okay?
I thought it's 44 megajoule.
Hmm?
4.4.
44 or 4? 44
Yeah,
Oh, okay, 44.
I think it's 44.
This is 44.
Got 6,
That's like 43
Okay.
million.
Okay. Then the kilowatt hour is 12.1, correct?
Yeah.
Then what's the cost?
$3.63.
$3.
63 cents.
63 cents. Okay.
Wait,
Is it okay?
Times 20.
isn't it the cost for 1 day?
Yeah, you have times 20.
Yeah, times 20.
You forgot the times 20. Still must times 20.
22.6.
Okay. So you just simply take cost 12.1 times the 1 day 0.30 cents times 20. Right.
72.6.
How much?
72.6.
72.6. Okay, so $72.6. So it's quite easy to do. So let's say